I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter, and this is
the Family Showdown! Why, hello, shenanigators. How's it going?
Shenanigators?
That's right. They're officially the shenanigators. I have dubbed them.
I don't know how I feel about that.
You don't like the shenanigators?
I don't know.
I like it.
Hello, everyone.
Like it. Yes. Hello.
All right, folks.
It is vacation week.
It is vacation week.
Those of you ready for Turkey Day?
Well, those from you.
Well, yeah. But you know what? Even if you're not, you should enjoy a Turkey Day just because. Just saying.
All right, folks. Tonight, what we're going to do, we're going to start off with a Board Game Geek recap, and then we're going to go through all the games we played and talk about new stuff we bought, and we'll see where we are after all that stuff.
Yes. Oh, and I see that Paul is playing Cascadia.
Cascadia.
How are you liking that?
That's a
Paul,
Meh Plus game.
How dare you, sir?
Meh Plus?
Don't listen to him, Paul. Garbage.
All right. How do you spell
Shenanigators? Hold on a second.
Go spell it through the G in shenanigans. Drop that off and put aters at the end.
Shenanigators. There you go. Shenanigators. That is the official term.
All right.
What's up?
All right, folks. Board Game Geek Con. So I didn't do a little recap video.
Good to see y'all.
We're just going to talk about things and stuff about it.
Oh, sorry to miss you, Underground. We'll see you around.
Board Game Geek Con normally happens every year the week before Thanksgiving. Although next year it's going to be 2 weeks before Thanksgiving.
What? Is it really?
Yeah, so they're tricking it up next year.
I don't know how I feel about that.
So normally Board Game Geek Con at full boring. You didn't get my joke. Full boring.
I'm ignoring you.
Full attendance. It's usually about 4,000 or so people.
That was so niche.
4 to 5,000 people.
Yeah.
They were playing for about half that, and they didn't sell out. So they only had 19 people attend this year.
19?
1,900.
I was like,
19.
We were one of the
We too, and
special few.
17 other people were the only ones there.
It was quite empty.
1,900 people in attendance. So it felt a little empty compared to most Board Game Geek Con.
Compared to the usual Board Game Geek Con, yes.
Kind of empty. They were requiring masks in all shared areas except for one gaming area. They had mask optional, and if you schedule events in game like separate rooms, you could choose whether you did masks or not.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was a mask convention, and it worked out pretty well. I thought. I didn't see many offenders. I didn't see much complaints going on about it. Everyone kind of understood what the rules were and pretty much stuck to them. So. That was a good thing, I guess.
I was going to say, you're there to have fun, not make an issue about stuff, so I would
hope so. Board Game Geek Con, in contrast to the Dice Tower Retreat we just went to.
Those are two different animals.
Much bigger. This one's 10 times the size, and normally it's 20, 25 times the size of the retreat.
Yeah.
It's mainly, for the most part, this is where I'm going to spew out some generalities here. For the most part, it's heavy gamers, heavy strategy gamers. It's not a family convention. You have to be 18 to attend Board Game Geek Con. It's definitely not a family event. They have a family con in the spring, in May. Mm-hmm. This is not that thing. And for the most part, again, generalities, people tend to play with people they know. People tend to bring their game group with them to the con, and they game together the whole convention, or they have con buddies that they specifically gather to play games at the convention. Getting in on games is very difficult.
It's much harder on this.
It's very difficult to join into games at Board Game Geek Con. The players wanted flags were scarce throughout the. They were extremely rare. You hardly saw any player wanted signs up in the game. That's just what it is. That's what the convention is. What I personally use the convention for is I play big, epic, giant 4 to 6 hour games, and I schedule those with people, and we meet in a side room and we play.
Yeah, it's amazing for that. If you want to do heavy duty games and schedule stuff, it's great for that.
So Rebecca didn't show up until Saturday, so I was there Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday without her, and I just played big epic games the whole time.
That's true.
All those days.
But you got some good games in too.
I
mean,
did,
you had some good players and whatnot.
And it works well because they schedule. They basically they have an Epic game forum that you go in and you can sign up for games. They basically say, hey, I'm going to run TI4 and I need 6 players, and I need 5 more players than me, and then you just sign up and say I'll play, and then you get a list of players, and then you show up at a side boardroom and play TI4 for all day.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That part of it's great. And then, like Coralie, you were like, not for me. And yeah, that's true. It can be for that way for a lot of people. If you're wanting to just kind of put feelers out for a con, I would recommend BGG Spring because it's the more family oriented. It's a little more chill, more open and stuff. A
lot more people jumping in and out of games.
Less vendors typically, but like this year was not a typical year.
Well,
so
we'll get the vendors.
Yeah, we'll get there on that. But yeah, it's a very different thing. Well, and they still have some of the really fun, silly traditions. Like you said, they still had the battling tops.
They did battling tops. They do a poker tournament.
Yeah, you played in that.
Yeah, they do a few events, but even those were scaled back this year. There was less scheduled events than they normally. They didn't do the scavenger hunt. They didn't do some other stuff.
Oh wow!
They normally do.
Did they have the big puzzle thing? The no big giant puzzle games?
Nope. All that was kind of.
They did have some new. What are the games? The
dexterity
girls
games.
Dexterity games. They had some new dexterity games in their big dexterity area. They have this whole open area, and they have like way kick and different things, and they have those set out. And they had some new ones this year. That looked pretty cool. We didn't play with those though because the girls kind of wore out on something. But
so she mentioned the vendor hall. I'll jump into that. Normally, the Board Game Geek has a massive vendor hall. Like just throwing a rough estimate, probably 70, 80 vendors is normally what they have.
Seems like it, yeah.
Plus, local game stores and all sorts of stuff. This time they maybe had 15 vendors there. Maybe?
I don't know.
Maybe 15,
20. Yeah, it was
15 or 20 venders.
It was
about not even a quarter of the size it normally is in the vendor hall.
Yeah,
it felt like the board game, the spring vendor hall, about the size of the spring vendor hall.
Yeah,
which is there's very few vendors that show up at spring. Just a handful, mostly family type games and stuff like that. For obvious reasons. Yeah, at the spring convention. Yeah, so that was like usually that vendor hall is like a day. I usually plan.
Like we play a whole afternoon out and try games.
Yeah,
and
we start at one end and we kind of just work our way and do demos and talk to the publishers and ask about their new games and just kind of weave our way through the hall, and that's like an all-day affair normally. But this time it took us an hour maybe to go through the entire vendor hall, which for obvious reasons they.
Well, it was just the focus was definitely more on straight up playing this year, and I think that's not necessarily a bad thing either, given the last couple of years and we weren't even able to have BGG in the fall last year. It's just nice to get it back going again. And so...
And it went off.
That was nice.
Oh, we froze.
Did we really?
Yeah.
Oh, and you are making your point!
I'm like, yes!
You are just on the soapbox. I love it. Can we do this freeze frame for once? I'm not making the derpy face. You're making a very, very... very emotional face. I like it.
I'm like,
I like
telling you how it is.
And those kids these days. Okay, fine. I'll reset the camera. I'm very disappointed though, because I think we should just stay like that the whole time.
No.
Anybody place your bets? Did y'all?
All right, we're back.
Pointy point dexterity.
All right. So you heard what I said about the vendor.
Oh yeah, he was letting you know.
All right. So I covered that. So this year I did the virtual flea market. This year I sold 70 or 80 games, I think, total, all said.
Yeah, you did a lot of games.
I sold, a lot of games, a lot of games, which is good. I mean, that's kind of my way of getting rid of the games I want to call. So it worked out well. They made you before the virtual flea market. It was big, massive ballroom and lots of people and super crowded. They actually limited the number of sellers and they limited the number of buyers that could. I got the dog out. That could go to the virtual flea market.
Yeah.
So that it was way downscaled, but even downscaled, I think there was like 4,000 or 5,000 games sold at the virtual flea market.
That's amazing. I'm still impressed you did all that yourself too with all those games.
Yeah,
Hunter hauled those games all by himself there, and I was just like,
"Well, I got
help?"
A couple people that bought a lot of games. I got them to. They let me.
Met you.
I give them to them early, so
that's nice.
So that cut down on what I had to do.
That's cool. See?
That worked out really well. I didn't participate in the math trade or the board game bazaar, so I don't know how those went. So
I bet they went pretty well though, just because everybody was excited to get back into it.
yeah, but I
So,
bet the bazaar again they probably limited the number
Scaled
of
it down.
sellers, and they also probably limited how many people could be in the bazaar area at one time. So
yeah.
so there you go. It's funny, Corley. Here's what happened. Those 80 games.
Oh dear.
Those 80
Here
games
we
I
go.
sold
Here we go.
basically turned into 4 games. Crazy, huh?
Ouch.
So 80 games became 4 games.
Oh no, are we gonna hear about those games?
Yes, we'll talk about new game purchases here in a bit.
Dear me.
There was some leftover money after that, but for the most part, those 80 games condensed down into 4 games.
That's
but they're
terrifying.
four very expensive games.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right here, and I'm gonna make a small prediction. Hunter is soon going to complain about shelf space after that comment.
What comment?
About how you condensed it down to 4 games. Those are gonna be monster games. We're gonna run out of shelf space again.
No,
I can hear it now.
We got
I
lots
can
of
hear.
shelf space. We got the whole hallway now.
Oh, that's true too. Okay,
All
I
right.
don't know. I'm still thinking.
So then
I still think we're gonna hear a
Rebecca showed
comment.
up, as I said, showed up Saturday,
I did.
and we made a point to
Vacation.
play a bunch of new, quick to play games.
Yeah, and it was fun because also I mean, how else were we gonna have a chance to play a bunch of new games outside
Right.
of the Dice Tower retreat? That was it. I mean, really, we haven't had that many. That was a great opportunity.
So we played a bunch of hour or less games over Saturday. Sunday was like nothing. We showed up and it was basically closing when we showed up. So
Yeah, I mean, I get it because they have to shut down and they have
we
to
kind of
leave.
slept in. We didn't get there until like 11, and they shut down at 1. So
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was
the
like-
library shut down at 1.
The library
So we
does.
only had a couple. We only got a couple of games in because we only had a couple hours to play,
Yeah.
which is fine. It is what it
Yeah.
is. That's kind of it. The BGG Con recap. I suspect next year will be more of the same. I'll play Epic games for the first few days, and then you'll show up and we'll play.
Yeah,
play.
since it's not
But-
going to be back to back with Thanksgiving break, that really ensures that I'm not going to be able to go during the week and
Yeah.
stuff because I'll be prepping for the kids for like the vacation / pre-finals craziness. So
So, what's I gonna say?
I don't know. What were you going to say? You're talking about the con ending in next year. You're thinking about
I
doing
don't
stuff.
remember now what I
Oh
was
no,
gonna
I just destroyed your
say.
mental
You're like-
process.
you're like
Oh man,
railroad.
I just ran you down.
But anyway, so no, I was gonna say, yeah, I'll probably the same plan next year. Epic games until
Yep.
she shows up, and then quick to play games. Oh, I was gonna say, we just play games with each other. We made no effort to try to find people to play because, like I said, it's
Well, I watched just out of curiosity, and people with their flags, they never had any takers in the rooms we were in.
yeah,
They just sat there with players wanted, and I'm like,
it's really cliquish
Yeah,
for what it
so it's
is.
kinda-
And we usually have normally we have a bunch of local people that are in our game group that show up, but then we didn't have anybody this year that.
I don't think so. Well, and if we did, we missed out on everybody. So I was gonna say I didn't. No. Yeah, because like Tommy, you weren't gonna come this year, right?
Tommy
I was gonna
wasn't
say
there.
I don't think anybody reached out and said that specifically they were coming or anything. Because
Yep.
I would have looked out for people.
I
But
mean, we ran into a few people that knew who we were and commented, but they were
well, and people we
scurrying
knew,
about.
but yeah, that's the thing. We saw several people that were in the middle of stuff. So for those of you that we saw in the distance, hello. I was gonna say I saw a couple people that were from afar that were in the middle of stuff. So it was like, oh, I can't interrupt you. But
All right.
yeah.
That's
fine.
BG Con. If you have any questions, just either in the chat or in the comments, let us know, and I'll ask you. Oh, I was going to say.
Oh, it's fun. But
Oh, one thing I forgot to mention.
Yes.
The library. If you don't know anything about the BG Con library,
Mm,
it's about 5,000 games or so.
it's pretty awesome.
and and just the new games. There's probably 500 of those, and then they had the hot game area had another 20 games probably.
Oh, it was awesome. Their library is nothing to sneeze at. It
It's a
is
massive
so much
library.
fun to go in there and just look at the games because they've got old games, new games, just this really wide variety. I love that library.
All right.
It's good stuff.
Let's move on to. All right. What did we play?
What did we play?
So I played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, what?
Huh?
16 games? 15
wow.
games. I played 15 different games during the convention.
That's
the
pretty
reason those
sweet.
numbers low because there's, like I said, there's a lot of
You did a lot of big games.
big massive games in there. Rebecca, on the other hand, played 9 games. One we played after the con at home, but we're gonna count it. So, all right. So we always rank them from worst to best. So we'll start off with my number 15. My 15.
What'd you call the worst?
My 15.
Am I gonna punch you in the head?
What?
I don't know. I'm suspicious. I'm instantly suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Here we go. My number 15 is Flourish.
That wasn't that bad.
None of them were bad. That's the worst of the ones we played, though. What would you rate worse than this? Don't ruin it. Mention it when we get to it.
Well, I'd have to look at the list.
So Flourish is a new game. Like I said, me and Rebecca played a bunch of brand new games that were quick to play. Flourish is a card drafting game. So it's basically all these different flowers and trees and paths and walls and all sorts of little cards. And you basically, it's got an interesting drafting system. You have 6 cards in front of you. You have 6 cards in your hand. You're going to pick one to play in your tableau. You're going to give one to each of your neighbors to play. That's going to leave you three cards left over.
Yeah.
And basically you flip over the card. You're going to flip over 3 cards, and then you're going to do a scoring. You're going to do round scoring. Some of the cards score each round. And at the end of the round, it's some score at the end of the game. So you have to balance between round scoring and in-game scoring. You're going to do that 3 times, but then the second set of 3, when you score them, you score for all the cards that are in your tableau, and same for the 3rd round and same for the 4th round. So it's got all these round scorings, and at the end, you do all your in-game scoring, and there's your score. So the gimmick or the trick or the hook is that giving your neighbors 1 card each, which they put little walls between your neighbors.
Yeah.
And you put your card on one side of the wall, and they put your card that they're giving you on the other side of the wall, and then you gather everything that's on your side of the wall, and that's your new hand for the next round.
I liked that because a lot of games, when you have to draft cards and give them to each other, everybody's like, wait, did I give you a card? I liked the visualization of an actual little wall.
It worked really well.
You could tell that if it's on that side, okay, I gave you your card, and I'm waiting for you to give me my card.
Right.
Like
it
was really nice, and I like that a lot. I can see why you said it's the worst, because there's nothing earth-shatteringly new. There's nothing new about it at all. The theme's pretty, the art's pretty, but there's so many games that are like this. But it was nice. I really liked. It was smooth gameplay. I thought it was fun doing all the different pairings up, and you're trying to find different combos and work with what you've got, because you've got, you're being handed these cards, so you have to, manipulate what you have and try to make the best out of it. I think it's fun, but it's not like must have this game.
So I rated it a 7. I didn't rate it bad.
No, it's good.
But here's my
issue.
The reason I lowered the rating, I like the gimmick. I like how the game flows. I like the scoring. The problem was a lot of the cards score. You score based on which of your neighbors has the most of something. So you're constantly going, okay, how many roses do you have? Okay, you got 3 roses. Wait,
yeah,
you don't have any roses. So okay, I got to watch what he's doing to see how many roses. And then the other one says score based on if you're the highest among your neighbors. So you're like, okay, I've got 2 trees. Oh, Rebecca's got 3 trees. That card's not good. You're constantly looking at what your neighbors' cards are. I mean, you're constantly just doing this the whole time.
It's like 7 Wonders in that regard, though, too. It's just your immediate neighbors.
Yeah,
so
but you're not constantly deciding whether you're going to play a card based on what stuff your neighbors has all through every single turn.
I mean, yeah.
Every card. Every time you're deciding what card to put down, you're looking after look at the neighbors. Like, okay, that one doesn't score very well. Okay, that one's okay. I mean, you constantly just. I didn't like that. I mean, some people were okay with that. I didn't like that. I had to constantly just scan everyone's cards throughout the whole game.
I like the puzzly aspect to it. I mean, for something different, we don't have a lot of games like that here, so I think it's fun for something different. But again, it wasn't a instantly grabbed me must have kind of game. But if someone said, "Hey, let's play that," I would be all over it. I would. Yes, I know you wouldn't. You're like, meh, we're good.
I mean, it's like Rebecca's I really want to play Flourish. I'm like, okay, I'll play Flourish.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say, no, I'm not playing it because it's a horrible game.
But if one of you came up and was like, hey, I haven't played this game, let's play this game, I'd be like, cool, I'm totally with that. I would do it.
But if I never play Flourish again,
you're not going to be torn up
I'll
about
be all right with that.
Wow.
All right. Let's move on to my number 14. My number 14. I don't have these in any particular order, so I have to push lots of buttons. I apologize. My number 14 is Juicy Fruits.
Oh my gosh, you didn't like this game that much?
No. I gave it a 7. This is 7 as well. So Juicy Fruit's another brand new quick to play game. It's got basically you have a board in front of you, and you have a bunch of boats ringing an island, or little boat tiles that are ringing the island, and then you have 5 little fruit tiles. And the gimmick in this game, because every game has a gimmick, is you're moving the fruit tiles, and how far you move them on your board is how many fruit you get. So it's kind of almost like a slide puzzle. And if you clear off those boats are contracts. So if you complete a boat, you take the boat off, and that gives you more space to potentially move your fruit all over your island. But some scoring tiles that you can get during the game block part of your island off. So you kind of got to balance, when do I get those scoring tiles and block off my island to make my fruit, give them less room to move around, versus she might be racing for that same tile. Like, okay, I need to, you got to balance that. Do I grab it early and to deal with the fact I can't move my fruit around as much? Or do I hold off a little bit and try to get it a little bit later and have more maneuverability for the fruit? It's got a lot of buildings you can build that give you different victory points. There's some buildings you actually slide that let you spin fruit. It's kind of a slide puzzle game.
It was, and I loved that. And then you've got the chunky little fruit bits that are like, they're brightly painted and cool shapes. And so you're grabbing those out, but we just chucked them in the box lid. So we were scrambling around looking for stuff. And I thought it was fun. I loved it. I love the puzzle bit and the whole sliding thing, because again, like you said, you can kind of map it out ahead of time. I always liked those little slide puzzle games, which is weird because I usually hate puzzles like that, but the slide ones I like. And this one is that you can kind of think ahead, okay, I want to keep my options open for this one. I'm going to need a lot of these, because you can see at the beginning of the game, all the tiles along the side that you want to eliminate to add spaces, they're like contracts. You can see how much of what kinds of fruit. So if it seems like I have an abundance of oranges, they're like, okay, I want to keep my options open as possible for oranges the whole time. So I just made sure that most of the game, I made sure that I was able to get at least 2 oranges every time I made moves with it. And so you just kind of playing around that. And I liked it. It was so much fun. I like fiddling with stuff like that, though. It has the physical, tangible fiddling as opposed to fiddly rules, if that makes any sense. It was fun in the tangible way. And just grabbing the fruit, and then we just, we had it in the box lid, which was nice, because then you just casually chuck your fruit in there. You're like, I fill this, blah, 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 open now. And I liked that one. And it's pretty to look at. So
there you go.
So there you are. I like it way better than he does.
Apparently. All right, let's move on. Number 13. This also gets a 7. It is this one. Living Forest.
Oh, that was a good one too.
So Living Forest is...
You don't like that one because you lost.
Kind of a deck building game. Yeah, it's...
Just messing with you. That's not why.
So it's a deck building game. Basically, it uses the mechanism if you play Mystic Veil. Basically, you're putting out cards until you bust. So you basically it's kind of, you can't bust in this game like Mystic Veil can. This one you get when you get
actions.
When you get symbols that like the bad symbols. When you get 2 bad symbols, if you stop, you're going to get 2 actions for the round. If you go until you get 3 symbols, you're only going to get 1 action. So you kind of gotta, and then you can kind of mitigate. Well, do I want more stuff and do 1 action, or do I want less stuff and do 2 actions? Do I have two actions available? Do I press my luck to get a few more cards and still try to get 2 actions, or before I hit the 3rd one? So there's kind of a little bit of pressure luck there. It's a deck builder. It's got several paths to victory, and it's instant win, basically. If you complete one of these 3 requirements to end the game, you basically win the game. So you're putting out fires, you're trying to get a bazillion symbols on your tableau when you put them out. What was the 3rd one? I can't remember what the 3rd one was. Not important, because I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I'll have to think about it for a second.
You have to plant a certain number of plants. 12 plants? No, we didn't get close to that. If you plant 12 plants in your little tableau area.
No, isn't that how I won? No, I did fires. I did fires. That's right.
So it's just a quick little deck building, pressure luck, action selection game.
I liked that game. The art's really pretty, of course, so that's a nice kind of catch for you. And I like the mechanism of, okay, you get strikes, so to speak. But this one wasn't as punishing as Mystic Veil, and I really enjoyed this because we end up
once you get 3, you stop.
Yeah,
you don't bust.
So you can stop, be safe, and get 2 actions, which can be really powerful and great. And I really enjoyed that. Or if you want to try to go a little bit farther, then you just get the 1 action, so you just prioritize. But the cards that have the symbol that give you the busting are usually really good cards.
They're
and that was kind of
a
mistake that I made, and I'm kind of surprised I won. I just kind of
weren't buying those.
No, I was. That was the problem. I only bought those really good cards, and so it was really easy for me to bust. And you were just flying through your deck. You'd be like, I have 15 things I can do. And I'm like,
12. I was trying to reveal 12 symbols on my.
He was close.
Basically, you were trying to do a run and get 12 symbols.
Yeah, you were almost there. But it's I
got to 10 one
It's
time.
neat. I think it's fun. If we didn't have Mystic Veil, I'd probably be all over like getting this now. But it's just similar.
Well, Mystic Veil's got the card crafting on top of it.
Yeah, and I love card crafting.
This is all these games we're talking about. Most of the three we just talked about are three different games we just talked about. They're all brand new games.
Brand new.
Rebecca and I were playing like brand new 2021 games.
We went to the hotness.
We're trying to bolster our list for our end of the year list so that we can have more games to pick from. So we just cranked through 2021 games as quickly as we could.
So yeah, hopefully this will give you a little heads up on some games that are starting to get out there more. You can take a peek at. And I mean, this one, again, it was really pretty, really fun. This is another game that I would never turn down a play for.
And also, really I strategically picked all the games I thought Rebecca
would like. I know you did.
It was Saturday was her day, so I picked all games I think she would love. So that's why she's all.
I'm like,
about these games, because they were intentionally picked for her to play.
Being crazy.
Speaking of picking things for her to play, my number 12, which is the first 8, we're moving on to the 8s.
Yeah, buddy.
We're to the 8s now. I gotta do
Underground's
this
got
and
your
this, and then this. Oh, that's not right. Wait for it. Oh, it's 4. I need 4. I need.
What are you
4.
doing, man?
Sorry.
Fire the
that
IT
one.
guy. Yes.
Floriferous.
Wait a minute. This isn't your number 1, sir?
No. Floriferous.
Yes, floriferous.
Floriferous. So this is the spiritual successor to Herbaceous. It gives a very similar feel to how Herbaceous works, except that you're drafting your cards in a different way. So if you played Herbaceous, it's herbs obviously, and you're basically drafting them from a center pool. You're trying to do different set collections and things like that. This one you have a kind of a grid of cards that you basically have little pawns that you're going left or right across these columns, and you're picking one from each column to draft. But based on which card you pick, if you're higher up on the column, you're going to go first in the next column. So there's a choice of what you want to draft, but there's also it decides your turn order for the next draft. So you draft through it, and then you go back and forth 3 times through that set of cards, and then you score. So it's pretty straightforward. It's super easy to teach. Again, it's set collection. You're trying to, that's basically all it is, set collection. But this one's different in the fact that in Herbaceous, you have the scoring cards down below that you're going to score. This one, you actually draft your scoring cards. So you have to decide, do I draft more cards that give me points towards those scoring cards, or you draft the scoring cards? It's kind of like point salad in that way. The cards are you either use them for you basically either draft the ones that are going to give you points or the ones that tell you how you score points. So it's really fun.
This is I want to buy this game thing. And yes, Underground, it is more nature, but you spelled it wrong. It should be like more nature, MOAR, more. I don't know what it is lately. They've had so many nature-themed games, but they've been really good. And the art's been awesome. And you know what?
We froze again.
No! I'm sick of zombies. I'll keep talking. I don't care. And I'm tired of zombies. And I'm excited to have nature themes. So none of you dog on my nature themes. I'm just saying.
And I intentionally picked nature games for Rebecca to play.
Whoa, hello. I'm going to knock
She almost knocked the light over.
Hey, but no one gets to see it, so they don't got to know. I
wonder why we're freezing up so much. We have to look into it.
I don't know. What is going on? What'd you do? You broke something. You broke all my nice settings.
We'll be back. We apologize. We don't know why we're freezing. We'll look into it.
Somebody
we went straight live without looking at the computer. So it's doing something in the background. I guarantee it. So Floriferous, Rebecca loved this game.
You heard my nature rant.
It is coming out in a couple of days. Officially, like released in the next few days.
I will tackle people on Black Friday for this game.
It may be already ordered. Yes. I already ordered this
Best
one. I ordered this
husband ever.
So it's
sorry, folks.
It's scheduled to be released either tomorrow or Friday. So it's coming out soon. So I'm guessing Friday, Black Friday, that whole good stuff.
Happy Friday, folks.
Anyway, if you like Herbaceous and you want something just kind of a variant of Herbaceous that's interesting. This is
Oh,
a way
it's
to go.
greatness. It's greatness. Oh, Coralie pre-ordered it. Nice.
All right, so let's move on to my number 11. We're still in the 8s, obviously.
I hear you, Underground.
There we go. My number 11, King Domino Origins.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Back in the day, no, before that.
Before the day.
Before the
Pre-day.
day. Pre-day.
Pre-day.
Pre.
We froze again. All right, guys, we're going to have to look and see
What
what's
is Laggy McLaggerton? Boy, man, people should have been placing bets tonight.
They should. They would have made all the
would have
bets.
made all the money.
All right, we rebooted. Maybe that'll work. Maybe it's not. But it looks like something's running in the background because computers do that thing. All right.
Oh, goodness. Who's Elsa and who's Anna?
No video? Are you saying that because we're just gone? All right.
Yeah, that's just.
All right.
We're back. We're back,
we rebooted
baby.
the computer. Hopefully that'll work, but who knows? Usually when this happens, something's running in the background. It's doing some update, even though I should all. You know what? I bet my postponed updates ran out.
Oh, snap. Why'd you do that? Procrastination does you no good.
Man. All right. So King Domino Origins, we did. I don't know. We'll start over. So King Domino Origins is a King Domino variant. This is kind of a, you know how Queen Domino added like gamery aspects to it. This adds gamery aspects as well, but this one's resource management. It adds resource management in this game.
Yeah.
And you have control. You can add like a lot. If you play King Domino, basically you're putting tiles, you're creating land areas, and you score the land area based on the size of the land area plus times the number of crowns, symbols that are in that land area. This game also has crowns, but they're fires that are in the land areas. But you also can play volcano tiles that can shoot fires off into your land areas and it increases the points.
That's interesting.
But it destroys your resources and crap that's in that area. So it's resource management. It's got some set collection, all sorts of things going on. It's definitely a more gamery version of King Domino. And
it was. It made a full-blown game out of it because before, you know, King Domino was just a very kind of stripped down game, right? It was just matching up these tiles and then getting a whole bunch of combinations from it at its heart, and that was it, right? And now you're doing that. That's like your base for the game. And then you're playing with all the the trying to manage the volcanoes and the resources on top of it. And it was just neat that they took that framework, what everybody liked best about it, and then just built more. Like, I'm at the point now where we could get rid of King and Queen Domino and just get King Domino Origins and just, ta-da, you're good. That's just awesome.
Yeah, this is my favorite version of the three.
Mm-hmm.
Question is it a buy? Because we really don't play.
We don't play it a lot, and we have King and Queen Domino.
We don't play King Domino or Queen Domino, so I don't know why would we buy this one.
But it is fun to do the big 7x7 because we're so used to playing the small.
You can play the big version.
That's true. We almost never do though. We never think to, or we're introducing it to people, so we do the smaller ones. So it was neat to have but it was fun.
Anyway, it's a good little game. It didn't blow me away, but it's a good game.
Yep, there you are.
All right, let's move on.
Let's do it.
Move on to my number 10.
Ooh.
My number 10 is...
What's the best one to start with?
King Domino.
King Domino, and then the most complex is definitely Origins Underground. It's like a step up.
My number 10. Number 10, I give this an 8 as well. My number 10 is Bad Company.
Oh my gosh.
This is the hard to find, almost impossible to get. I found out how to get it though. I'll get to that in a minute.
Ooh.
So
okay.
Bad Company is a space-based variant.
It's space-based.
If you played space-based, it's very much like space-based.
It's space-based. This was so cool to have that discovery. It's space-based with a theme.
Right.
An actual theme.
So you're basically putting together a gang, you're running from the cops, et cetera, but basically you're completing contracts. But it has the same mechanism as space-based. You basically have numbers 2 through 12. You actually in this game you roll 4 dice. The active player picks 2 sets of 2 dice, and then those 2 numbers activate on their tableau. The other passive inactive players or whatever, however you want to call them, they pick one of the 2 sets that he picks to activate on theirs. You don't have the whole take cards and flip them over, and now that's your.
It's less physically fiddly, right?
You use the same tableau on your turn, and also when it's not your turn to use. I really enjoyed it quite a bit. I like space-based. I like this game better because if you know anything about me, any game where it has mechanism and then you do something on a board, it's more interesting. And there's not much going on in this board. You're basically running from the cops, but
It's
at least
funny.
something's
It's
going
funny.
on. Whereas in Space Base, you're not doing anything but collecting resources
yeah,
and
it
victory points.
could
You're
be
not doing
anything, right?
anything. This one, you're running from the cops. You're recruiting new gang members. It's kind of funny though. You have your tableau. It has all these gang members in
the
it,
names.
and then when you draft a new gang member, it adds to the tableau so they get taller and taller and taller, and it changes their face and stuff. So basically,
It's
if you
hilarious.
put if you upgrade like the 7 like 5 times, you have this really tall gang
It's like
member.
looking at a long Furby. It's just like, huh?
He just keeps growing and growing and growing. It's funny. It kind of reminds me of the cartoon where the kids are in the overcoat and they go to the movie theater. It kind of reminds me of that. Just really tall gang members. This is a good one.
It's kid friendly. It's cheesy. The art, I'm not real crazy about the art. It's
very cheesy.
It's
You have
very
people-
corny.
Yeah,
It's
there's no
there's
blood or
nothing.
violence
No,
or
no,
anything
no.
like that.
because like the names, they also have names. You put together 2 different halves to have your list of criminals or bad company, whatever.
Yeah.
And what was mine? You were like the lazy tacos or something.
Yeah,
and
you were like the Dark Angels. Or
Just-
something like that.
we had stupid names. They
So
were
basically
hilarious.
you have 2 halves of the board and they have a name on it.
Yeah, it's really cheesy.
So here's how you get bad company. It's unfortunate news, but this game is made by Madigo, which is a French company.
Love
I'm
Madigo.
sure I'm not pronouncing.
No, it's Madigo.
All right. Anyway, it's a French company. They're going to
Madigot?
try to get it to the U.S., but it's kind of unlikely with the current current shipping situation. It's probably not. If it gets to the U.S., it's going to be a while before it happens in the U.S. You can order it directly from Madigo,
Oh, okay.
but you're going to pay a pretty penny. I checked, $80 to get shipped to me in Texas from France.
Ouch.
$80 for bad company. But if you really want the game,
You can get it.
you can get it. It's just crazy expensive.
Wow. Ouch.
But don't look for it to come out in the U.S. anytime soon.
oh, that
Like,
stinks.
they said they're trying, but my gut says
With everything going on right
it's
now,
not ever going to come to the U.S. That's my kind of gut.
that's so
feeling.
like $300 to ship to Canada. I know, Coraloo, right? It's just so
Yeah,
depressing.
the game was 40 and shipping was 40 for
Oh,
France. So
Gosh.
there you go. That's for Texas. I got your mileage or kilometerage.
Kilometerage.
We had a
apologize.
discussion. They still say mileage in
I told
in
you they probably
England,
do.
and
I
lots
told
of
you.
certain parts of
I told you
Europe,
it
they
just
still
flows
say, say
better.
mileage.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, this is a fun one. If you like Space Base, you want a tricked up Space Base.
It's so much fun. And if you are
is it worth
going to
$80?
these
Probably not.
conventions, find it at the conventions because it is a lot of fun. I really hope
Yeah, the
Madigo
Dice
was
Tower
able to get
Convention
it.
had it. BGG
Had it, yeah.
So,
So the big ones have it. Go for it. Go find it.
if you like
It's-
Space Base and want a variant,
it's so much
There
fun.
you go.
Yeah, I really liked that. The only thing is I really like the art in Space Base way better, but I mean,
Tommy
That's a
asked, "Are
decent
we
trade-off.
getting it?" It's a maybe.
yeah, that's
It's
expensive.
$80 for a $40 game.
I know, it's like
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a maybe. All right. So let's move on.
Oh, Batoku. We did see that one, but it was busy and we didn't have time to play that
Batoku was
one.
taken almost all the time, and
like,
we really didn't
crazy
want to
busy.
elbow into a game of it. And
Yeah,
it would
looks
be
so
a
good.
bear to learn, and I really wanted to keep it light on Saturday, so it would have ate up half our Saturday to learn that.
Yeah,
and
dang
play
it.
Learn
So-
it, teach it, and
but
play
it
it.
looks
would take,
gorgeous.
Took half half our day.
Looks
but-
gorgeous.
That said, I'm probably just gonna buy it
Right.
because I really want to play it.
Yep.
All right, so that was my number. What was that? Number 10.
Coraloo, you're on point.
Let's move to number 9.
The whole
I
measurement
got
thing.
tricked again.
This makes me so happy, guys. This one
I got tricked
this one is a victory.
again.
Not on purpose, but it
So we were looking for games hour or less, and I saw Hadrian's Wall hour or less, no problem. So I started reading the rules to it, and I got about 2 pages in. I'm like,
wait a second.
second. This is a flipping right, or rolling right, or verbing right, or whatever you want to call it.
Verbing right?
where you mark little X's on your board. I'm like, what?
So
I'm
much
like,
I do in class.
I'm already a good ways in the rule. We'll play it, and I actually enjoyed it quite a bit.
Oh my gosh,
I
you
really
guys.
enjoyed it. So I rated it an 8, which is amazing. This is the only verb and right game that I rate higher than about a 6.
It's true though, and oh man, there's so much going on in this, and I love the theme, even though it's could be pretty much anything, honestly, but it's cute, and just making everything chain. There's so much to do on those. Like the teacher, this is fairly heavy because it's all condensed onto these 2 sheets, but it's like If you have vision problems, you may want to get a magnifying glass for this game. There's so much on here.
1,000 boxes.
Tiny little, whew, verb and scribble game. Yes, Hawkskull, you're.
There's 1,000 boxes on your board.
It's
you have 2-player boards that are the size of a board game box, basically.
Yeah.
They fit right in the board game box, covered with things you can cross out.
But I mean, that was the appealing part. I mean, it was kind of like a feld of the Verban rights, as you called it, because you just go through and you're picking stuff, and you can get some crazy good chains going. We did another dump all the meeples in the box lid thing because there's different colored meeples, and you use them as, for different things, like currency, basically. And Hunter and I was just like doing this to trade for this. I mean, you were just wheeling and dealing, and I loved it because you could just extend your turn, unlock a bunch of cool things. It was greatness. An accountant's game.
Yeah, you basically I turn in a purple meeple to trash this X. That gives me a yellow meeple. I'll turn this yellow meeple to get a brick. I'll turn this brick to get a blue meeple. I'll take this blue meeple here and do this.
And the cool thing is you're doing that the whole time, and you want to have your wall. There's 3 sections to your wall, and you want to keep them bolstered enough to protect you from attacks at the end of each round. Or something to mitigate it.
All these things attack you, and you have to defend.
Oh my gosh. I was surprised how much I really liked this.
This game, I really enjoyed it. I'm actually
favorite.
I'm probably gonna buy this game, and I don't like these stupid check the box games, but I love this game because it's just combo after combo after combo, and it's not like most of those games you flip over, you get a 6. Okay, I mark out a 6.
But you go
I flip over a 2, I mark out a 2. I flip over
this
a 7,
has
I mark out a 7. Oh wait, I finished a row, I can mark out a 1. I mean, it's just this game is like combo, and I build this and I build this up, and now I can make gladiators, and the gladiators go to fight and get stuff, and I go over here and I got all these tracks I'm going on. I'm building the wall, and it's just crazy, all the stuff going on in this game. I mean, we played this game in 50 minutes because the library was about to close.
So we were like, I'm just going to.
But we were just like,
you could spend a lot more time.
We were just flying all
you could
over
even
the place.
AP this game really bad because there are so many amazing chains and things. So you would have to. There was an analysis paralysis warning for this game because you could really go crazy with it.
Yeah, but it was awesome.
But
I really enjoyed this one.
So.
I really enjoyed this one. And like I said, I don't like these style of games at all. All right.
Hooked. I'm hooked.
And we froze again.
Are you kidding me? Oh, man. I'm starting to make the stupid faces. We're back.
I honestly don't know what's going on with the freezing. We apologize, but we're going to just power through.
Dun, dun.
We don't know what's going on, but we're going to power through.
Hi, guys.
Oh, well. Something's running in the background, but I don't have time to dig through and figure out what's going on. All right, Hadrian's Wall. Loved it. Moved on.
Move on. Loved it. Moved on. Wow.
Loved it.
Ouch.
Move on.
Ouch.
All right, next one is my number 8. It's also an 8. And it's 8 and has an 8.
It has an 8?
It is an 8.
It's a what?
And it is Furnace.
You liked this a lot.
I really enjoyed Furnace.
Okay.
I really like Furnace.
Okay.
So, Furnace is a auction game. It's got a basically card drafting auction game, something like that. So you're gonna have a set of cards out here in front. You're gonna have 4 discs numbered 1 through 4. You're gonna put your disc. You're basically, when it's your turn, you're gonna put a disc on one of the available cards. For 2 players, there's 6 cards available. You put your disc on it. If you put a 4, 3, 2, or 1, that is your bid for that card. You cannot put another disc on that card. You have to put your disc on other cards. Every single person has a superpower that breaks all these rules. So her rule is that she had an extra disc. My rule is I could put multiple discs on the same card. So basically, you're bidding the different discs. She wants out again?
Yes, she wants out again.
So basically, you're bidding on these different cards. And then once everyone's bid, basically whoever has the high bid earns that card. And they get to use that card. The card is part of their tableau. The ones that did not get the high bid, and this is why you'd want to bid on a card that someone else is going to beat you on. There's at the top of the card, there is a consolation prize. I'm sure it had some name, but basically it's a consolation prize. Maybe you get a coal. But if I bid 4 on a card, Rebecca bid 3 on that same card, and it has 2 coal at the top. She's going to get 3 times 2 coal. She's going to get 6 coal for bidding on that card. Some of them have conversions. Basically, you can turn a coal into iron or something. And how many times, what number you put on it is how many times you're going to get to convert those materials. So there's kind of 2 layers to that auction. You're bidding for the cards. You're also bidding to utilize the cards. Yeah. And sometimes you'll bid on a card. You'll put a 2 there. You want to do the conversion, and then nobody goes and bids on it. And you're like, oh, I get the card. I don't get to do the conversion.
There's that.
So,
but the bidding is fun because you're not losing or gaining anything.
There's
just
no
with
money.
The
You're not
bids.
bidding
There's
money.
no money. It's just your chips. And I have the same issue Coraloo's mentioning. I was kind of turned off by the art and the theme. I was like,
I don't care about that stuff.
So I was a little bit like, meh, going into it, but the mechanism for the game is so cool. Like, I really enjoyed that part of it a lot. So I'm torn. Like, this is one of those things where if you really, really liked it, then I'd say let's get it. But I'm not like, the theme just kind of, I don't know. It's ugly.
I don't care about it.
But
anyway. Anyway, and then once you draft all your cards, then you're going to fire off all your cards in your tableau. And the order you do them in is very important because you may do one that gives you the resources, do the next one, that can do the next one.
It chains nicely.
And then all the cards, except your starter card, can be upgraded and get a more powerful action. Basically, they get to do usually it's a conversion, and then if you upgrade them, they get conversion plus resources,
free stuff,
resources. So then you fire those off in an order that makes sense, and then you do that 4 times. So your tableau grows and grows and grows, and your engine grows and grows and grows. I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I loved the puzzle. I love the logistics of I find my best card. Like, okay, this card can convert 9 coal into money. So basically, whoever has the most money at the win wins. Yeah, I'm like, okay, how the heck am I getting 9 coal? So I'm like, okay, I need to run this one first to get the iron to convert this one that gives me lots of coal to do this, and it's kind of a puzzle and how you want all those to fire off. And I love that. I really, really enjoyed this game, and it plays in 45 minutes.
It was great, and like you said, I love the chaining bit of it, and I love that you can pick and choose when you chain what. I mean, you have to do the whole action on the card, but once you choose that card, and sometimes it's got multiple actions, so you're like, oh, which one do I pick? Right. But you're a little bit strategic about that, and it's so neat to see like all those 15 cards or whatever just fire off and do a whole bunch of craziness. Right. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that a lot.
And the 2-player variant, for those that mostly play 2-player, there's a quote dummy player. He has a stack of discs. You're just rolling a die, and he's going to put a disc on the board based on certain rules.
He's just a bit trollish.
Basically, it's another bidder to go. But also it's beneficial because he slaps that 4 down on a card that you want to do a conversion on. You can come behind him and put your 3 and get that 3 times. So it actually allows you, not only does it allow you, it blocks you potentially from getting cards you want. It also allows you to fire off cards that you need the conversions on, that consolation prize or whatever you want to call it.
I would agree with the Dinosaur Island theme, Coraloo. If they rethemed it, what do you think?
And this is just generic coal, iron.
Yeah, but it's ugly and industrial, messy.
Who cares?
Choking on dust, fumes, and stuff already just thinking about it. I care. I want dinosaurs now.
Okay, we'll buy it and we'll put pictures of dinosaurs on it.
Yes.
Does that make you feel better?
Yes, very much so.
All right, that's Furnace, my number 8.
That's good stuff.
Move on to my number 7. The first of the epic games I played, and also the first 9. So I got 7 games I rated 9 or higher.
Okay.
This is the first one. This is one you did not play.
Boo.
It's one of the epic games I played.
Boo. I'm just kidding.
Oh, it's right there on the...
this?
Yep.
Oh, of course. I am so jealous. You got another play of Sidereal Confluence.
So I got to play Sidereal Confluence. This is a epic trading game in space that plays up to 9 players.
I was going to say it's a large count.
It's just it's a pit. It's a gamer's pit. So basically, you are basically you have all these different converters. So basically, you're taking certain types of cubes and you put them in your converter, and they spit out different kinds of cubes. But invariably, your converter spits out things that don't go back into your converter next round. So you spit out all these different kinds of cubes, and then there's a frenzy of trading. It's like, I got all these cubes, but I need green cubes, and you got brown cubes. So I'll trade you 2 green cubes for 2 brown cubes. I'll trade you this blue cube for a yellow cube, and you just trade, and then you run it through your converter and you spit out new cubes. Eventually, you're going to be spitting out victory points. You're going to put cubes in, and victory points pop out. There's also text that you can research. That's how you get most of your victory points, is actually researching text. You research a tech, it basically gives you another converter, which is more powerful, and usually that's what converts stuff into victory points. But the meat of the game is that frenzied trading all around the table. And when you got 9 people screaming for different color cubes, it's crazy. I love it. But it's not for everyone.
No, that's true.
Just like Pit isn't for everyone, it's not for everyone. The person next to me, he was overwhelmed. He was like,
really?
He shut down about halfway through the game. I felt bad for him.
Just too much.
It was too much. So, because it is literally.
It really is.
It is 10 to 15 minutes of screaming 6 times.
But it's not really. Well, I mean,
it is screaming.
Yeah.
When the person that you want to trade with
is
10 feet away from you around a big conference room table, you're screaming at them.
That's
it's like, those yellow cubes. Those yellow cubes. You need those yellow cubes. What do you want for your yellow cubes? And he's not even paying attention. He's talking to someone next to you. So you're like, yellow cubes. Start throw cubes at him. Pay attention to me. Or you get up from your chair and you walk over and go, I want your yellow cubes. But I love it. This is my kind of game. I love the chaos of screaming and yelling and trading and working deals and wheeling and dealing. It's awesome. I love this game. It's so much fun.
Tommy was asking too, did you play this version or a newer one?
This one, the old version.
Okay.
The original
What's
version.
different? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I played the original version, the same one I own. The gameplay is about 2 hours-ish, and it doesn't matter the number of players because everything's pretty much simultaneous. There is some bidding and drafting, but that happens so fast that it really doesn't add to the playtime. The majority of your time is the trading and then running all your converters to get all the different color cubes.
I want to play this again so bad.
And you can make the game quicker. It won't be as cool by decreasing the amount of time you have to trade. And you can increase the amount of time you have to trade, and the game's a little longer. The rules say you trade until there's one person kind of going, someone trade with me, and no one's trading with them. That's when you quit. So,
ouch.
I love it. It's great. I screamed and yelled. I was hoarse after the game, but I loved every minute of it. It was awesome.
Yep. I'm super jealous of that.
All right. Let's move on to my number 6.
Okay.
We still got furnace up. Man, someone give me my executive assistant. Tell me when to get rid of things on the phone.
I don't care. Furnace. It's a subliminal.
It's furnace,
not
sidereal. All right.
Advertising.
Let's move on to my number
Sidereal
6. I also give this one a 9. Another epic game. Yes.
Oh.
Brass Lincolnshire.
I haven't played this one in a while either.
Lancashire. You
better brush up on how to pronounce your English words.
Oh, yeah. Apparently, I'm very British. I did the ancestry thing. Anyway, Brass Lincolnshire. We played an epic game of this. I played with people that played. So it was me who's played this a handful of times, and 3 dudes that played it dozens of times.
You get nuked?
And I finished middle of the pack. So I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad.
You should feel good.
But
you got nuked.
They knew what was up. They knew every card, every combo,
That's
everything.
awesome.
And I figured I was going to get trounced, but actually I was only 9 points away from the leader and 5 points behind second place. So I was right there in the running. But yeah, this is just an epic. Basically building buildings, and use the buildings to ship goods and all sorts of stuff. Brass has been around for freaking 20 years or 30 years. I don't know how long it's been around.
What? Is it really that old?
This is a newer version.
But the
original version, I don't know, was 2005, 6,
really?
7, something
wow,
like that.
Ahead of its time as far as weight, I think.
I enjoyed it. Good. It's a blast. I really, one of the things I like with these epic games, you tend to play with people
that so well.
You tend to play with people that have played these games many, many, many times, and you learn new things, and you kind of see it through the eyes of, because we really don't repeat games that much, but then I think one dude said he played it over 100 times. So you just get a new perspective.
That is cool.
And you learn more about the game. You learn new tricks and things like that. I just find it interesting. And I guess you're not going to get better if you play with
same people all the time.
So
I was just added. I'm just telling you, I was just added.
I didn't say you.
Okay, so no, you didn't, but I was just added. So I have a curiosity question for you. Would you ever be interested in with something like these, or like training for the World Series thing, of doing one of those 10x10 game things? Would you ever think about doing one of those?
Well, I expect to play all those games at least 10 times this next year. So
yeah, I was just curious. Is Brass one of them?
No.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Okay. They were mostly quicker games, right?
For the most part.
Yeah, I was just curious. I was thinking about
big ones.
If some of these of your favorites, would you want to do a 10x10 of like some heavy games though? Just
maybe not. I mean, honestly, I don't like repeating games over and over again.
Yeah, that's why I was curious, because I know how much you love them though.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, I enjoyed it. It was fun. Like I said, I thought for sure I was going to get trounced, but I held my own. So
That's not too bad. Not too bad.
I didn't win, obviously, but I definitely held my own.
Hey, that's good. You didn't get destroyed.
Yep. All right. So let's move on to another 9. My number
We're not
5.
the
We're in the top 5.
Yep.
Another big, epic, heavy game
We're
of
chitty
heaviness.
chatting about all the games, man. This is greatness. What you got? What you got?
Indonesia.
Ooh.
I played Indonesia. I give this a 9. This is a splatter game.
I haven't played this one, have I?
No, you have
I was
not.
gonna say, I
So I got to
haven't
play
played this one
Indonesia. This is a heavy 3, 4, 5 hour splatter game.
Monster.
It is so much fun. I love this game. I almost won. I was 4 points off the leader. They said that's the closest game they've ever seen of Indonesia. And these people,
that's cool.
Again, these are people who
Play it all the time.
Play it all the time.
That's so cool.
One person sitting next to me, I've only played it a couple of times, and this is only my second play of it. I loved it. It was great. We had wheeling and dealing and talking smack, and so this is a, I guess, 18xx game without the rails. Basically,
Okay.
you're forming companies. You're basically taking control of companies. You're building out the company on the board. You're delivering goods between different areas, different cities. The cities can potentially build up and grow. Your companies expand, but the thing about it is that you should never get attached to your company because anytime someone wants, they can merge companies together. And so I could be selling rice, and the person across the board have a rice company. We both have rice companies. Rebecca goes, "I'm merging your 2 companies," and we have to start. Everyone starts bidding.
So this is like the heaviest game of acquire you've ever played.
Kind of. Yeah. There's mergers. There's shipping. There's all these. But what's amazing about splatter games is super in-depth as they are and how much is going on. The rule book's usually only like 3 or 4 pages long.
That's insane to me. That's insane.
So,
that's pretty well done.
This game is amazing. I want to get it. It's kind of out of print. Maybe I'll get it someday. But I love it. It's so much fun. It's super cutthroat. It's super mean. You just have to go in knowing that that's what it is.
Yeah.
Basically, anything can happen. We had one of the weirdest games. Normally, it's like this game takes 3 or 4 hours. The way our game flowed, it only took about a little over 2 hours because certain things happened. Certain companies didn't get bought, and we jumped through rounds really quickly. There's all these rules on how you move on to the next eras of the game. We flew all the way to the last era of the game, and then that era didn't last that long, so it was like crazy quick. Normally, you score in the thousands of points. I think the high score was 750-ish, which is super low for this game. But but that's what's cool about these games is they evolve. They're not a set. This is how the game.
It's not cut and dried.
Arc of the game. This is how it's going to. Every game is a little different based on what the players do, the interaction, what merges together, and things like that.
Nice.
But it's a heavy splatter game, and it's can be super mean. It's easy to mess up and do something. Like one person across the table was obviously winning. He made a poor decision on merging some companies.
Nuked it.
And it nuked him. And he ended up not winning the game.
So Tommy wants to know, did you play hidden money or open money?
We played open money and we screwed up. It's supposed to be hidden money. We played open money and it froze again. We played open money, and you're not supposed to play open money. It's supposed to be hidden money. And I did not like playing with open money because you knew exactly what you needed to bid, and everyone was bidding the exact amount they needed to bid.
Yeah, so that's problematic. That makes sense. Microsoft loves to be.
I really want to know what's going on to cause all these freezes. Anyway, we played with open money. You're not supposed to. It completely changed the game. It probably made the game, sped up the game even more. Remember I said it went fast? That probably sped it. Because there's rules on how you bid on the companies. You have to raise the bid a certain amount each time. Okay. And people would say, how much money you have? And Rebecca says 120. I say, I bid 123.
Ugh.
And it's, the bidding's over.
Disgusting.
The bidding is over. Which in closed money, it could potentially, you could overbid for things that you want.
But that's part of those kinds of games, so that makes perfect sense.
Anyway, I love this game. It's amazing. I want to get a copy of it, and if I'm not, I think Tommy has a copy.
He does. He's very excited to tell you that.
And he can bring it, and we can show Rebecca how to merge a rice company with a spice company and make microwave meals.
I don't even know what just happened.
All right, let's move on.
Spice.
Before we freeze. This might be a record on freezes.
No, don't say that. We've had some.
Number 10.
Do the technical difficulties now. You might as well.
What just happened? My face is red. It takes a lot to embarrass me. My face is actually red. My number 4, I give it also a 9, is The Great Zimbabwe. We actually own that one.
We what? We
actually,
do?
We actually no. Oh, we don't. It's pre-ordered. We technically we own it. It's not here yet. Great Zimbabwe, another splatter game. I like this one a hair more than Indonesia because this one isn't as cutthroat. It is pretty cutthroat, but it's not as cutthroat as Indonesia. I annihilated everyone at Zimbabwe. I don't know what it was.
Oh, that's why you liked it.
I was in my groove. The groove was happening, and I destroyed everybody.
You threw off the Emperor's groove.
I love this game. This is I don't even know what to even call this game. It's hard to describe splatter.
Great.
Games. They're very unique.
About Zimbabwe?
This one is a resource management game in a way.
Ooh, okay.
Basically,
you have intrigued me.
I thought you played this.
Did I play this one?
I thought you played this one.
Did I play this one?
I think you played this one.
I don't know.
Anyway.
It's been a while.
You're basically, it's a race to victory points. Basically, you have a certain number of victory points you're trying to get to. But the trick is that you can draft these powers. There's 2 different kinds of superpowers you can draft, and they affect your goal victory points. So maybe we need 30 points to win, but I draft this one power that's really cool, so it's going to add 6 victory points to my target. So now I need 36 victory points to win. Then I draft this crappy power that actually reduces my victory points down by 2. So now I only need 34 victory points to win. So it's basically it's a moving target on what you want to get when you draft those powers.
All right.
Or you can just draft none of them and you just keep the base score that you normally need. It's a game where turn order is like crazy powerful.
Yeah, okay.
There's a certain number of resources available on the board. I'm not going to go too deep in the game because it's a pretty complicated game, like all the splatter games. But there's a certain number of resources on the board, and if I go first, I may utilize resources that you want because I went first.
Yeah.
And now you can't do what you want. You have to switch gears and do something else.
Okay, I might be willing to try this again, but if I recall, I did not like it as much. But like Tommy reminded me, like Major Rule was screwed up when we played.
Yes, we played a rule wrong.
Okay, so I'll withhold judgment then.
But I love this game. It's super fun. It's another one of those splatter games where it's 4 pages of rules, but it's super deep.
That's so good.
The choices are crazy. Like there's a whole range of ways to play. Everyone plays the game a little differently. It's really cool. I love this game. Awesome. All right, let's push some buttons so we freeze again. Let's move on to my number 3, another 9. I'll hit the clear button this time.
Hey, look at you. You're so good.
It's right over there.
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
My number 3 is one we own. It's a Lizard Wizard.
It's Lizard. Look at that. Flashy.
So we played this at the Dice Tower Retreat.
Oh my goodness.
Loved it. So Rebecca wanted to play it again. So when we got back from Board Game Geek Con on Sunday, we had some time because we got back at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we pulled this guy out.
It's so good.
And we played Lizard Wizard. And this is the crazy Kickstarter Deluxe, Extra, Super Deluxe, Super
ridiculous
Deluxe
version.
Deluxe version.
Ridiculous version.
I love it. It's a great one. This one, I wouldn't say it's a Raccoon Tycoon killer.
No, it's different.
But it is. But I would probably choose this one over Raccoon Tycoon most of the time.
I can see that.
If I was introducing someone to this game system,
Raccoon Tycoon.
I would do Raccoon Tycoon first. Or if I want them to learn a simple stock market-y type system, I would do Raccoon Tycoon first. But if we're going to play a gamer game with the gamers and gamer types.
Do you know what? Raccoon Tycoon is that too, though.
Yeah,
but this adds some
because this has pressure luck.
This does.
This has pressure luck, and I love this pressure luck.
You are crazy that way, yes.
You can delve into the dungeon and pressure luck.
That dungeon is hilarious. The dungeon hates me.
It does hate you.
It was unreal. So you have a shuffle, a set of cards, and in there are monsters, and then treasures, and then items. And the treasures give you gold coins, which are victory points. So those are really good. But the items also, whoever has the most items gets a chunk of victory points at the end of the game. So there's like a majority there. There's also cards that mitigate some of the monsters. Like there's one that's like, if you encounter a troll, you get to keep the card and you get a gold coin. It's like, they're crazy powerful. Or you ignore goblinoids and just keep going or stuff like that. So you get some of those. And I'm like, cool, I've got 2 things that mitigate. I should do great. La, 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 la. well, my third card in is one of the creatures that my cards don't mitigate. And I'm like, okay, should I push my luck? Sure, why not? What are the odds? Well, the odds were not good. So, and Hunter's like, I get this, I get this, I get a treasure, get an item, get an item. And I'm like, I even shuffled
The first two
these,
times I went in the
first
dungeon, I got
two
like
times.
a ton of loot.
And so I'm like, well, now he's looted it all. Now the only thing's left is monsters. Woo! Yeah, it was so agonizing. So after a while, I was just like, I give up on this garbage.
So so if you played Raccoon Tycoon, this has everything that's in Raccoon Tycoon pretty much. So instead of the little Raccoon Tycoon guys, you have wizards. Instead of towns, you have towers.
Mhm.
Instead of buildings, you have spells. But then you have but you also have familiars on top of that, which lets you do
There's 4 different things.
a variation. You basically can get
Yeah.
resources, you can do other things, but you can also go diving into the dungeon and do your pressure luck thing.
So crazy.
So you get the same feel as Raccoon Tycoon, but then there's a whole another layer of stuff going on top of it.
It's greatness. It's greatness, guys.
Really good.
I mean, if you loved Raccoon Tycoon, you're gonna love this.
Yep.
Really and truly. And I love both of them. And it's like, really, they can continue to keep doing this as far as I'm concerned. And
everyone's already. There's a thread.
Is there a joke about what the title?
What the next game's going to be? I haven't read it, but
I can only
on Board Game Geek there's a thread of what the next game's going to be.
Can only imagine.
Anyway,
yes, I know that could just go crazy fast. It's fantastic, guys.
All right, let's move on to my number 2.
I'm assuming
we finally made number 2. No.
Oh.
So my number 2, I own now because I played it and I'm like,
and
this is a 10. 10.
Wow.
Perfect 10.
Wow.
And I went to the Board Game Geek store and I'm like, it's for sale in the Board Game Geek store. I said, take my money. And I bought Democker. Democker. It's still in shrink because I bought it. When did I buy this? Friday, I think.
Well, and it's also a minimum 3 players, so it's
a
not
3-player
like
minimum
we
game.
can crack into it right now.
Oh man, this game was it was off the charts fun, like crazy fun.
This sounds like a game that's made for you, from what you've
this
told
is
me.
this is my kind of game. So it's so good. Anyway, it's got secret bidding. It's got hand management. It's got resource management. It's got area control. It's got negotiation.
This is your game.
Good.
It's like, yeah.
It's also trivia time. It's the first board game that was entered on Board Game Geek's database.
That's crazy.
It's game number 1 in Board Game Geek.
Yeah.
Anyway, love this game. It is so much fun. And I won too. Bonus. Anyway, you're engaged from. You said basically you do the opening pistol, the opening shot to start the game, to the end. You are 100% engaged with what everyone's doing. Why are you doing that? Right. Why are you doing what you're doing? What secret cards did you put down? What's going on? Let's work together. Oh, so great.
Did I hear you say let's work together?
Yeah. You did form voting coalition.
Oh well. And then you turn.
So it's about but if you don't know what democracy is, it's about the German. It's the most boring thing ever. It's about the German political system. If you know anything about, I don't know anything about the German political system, but
I bet you do now. After
I do now, but every political system has weird things. So apparently, in the German political system, if you don't get a majority vote, you form voting coalitions to get to the majority.
Okay.
So you basically say, we're going to work together and form an agenda or something, and combine our powers, and we're going to win this election.
Okay. That's fair.
It's great. It is so good. There's so much planning. You basically have a political position. Maybe you're for mass transit and you're against the climate change or whatever. I don't know what all the different. There's like bazillion different policies you can have. Not really. There's like 7 policies. But anyway, you have all these different policies and you're trying to line them up. Basically, you're visiting different regions of Germany and you're trying to line your policies up with that region's policies. So maybe you're trying to match your policies with theirs. So you can do that in 2 ways. You can change your policies, which is hard to do, or you can change the policies of the place that you're visiting. And you're trying to get as many policies in common as you can, and that's kind of how you gain votes in the game. But then you move on to the next region. Now all your policies are garbage because they have completely different policies that they want in their region. So you're like, now you got to switch gears. How do I swap up my policies and swap up their policies? Oh, wow. And you plan ahead. You can see like 3 or 4 elections in the future. You can kind of get a glimpse at maybe what they want. So you're like, okay, do I work for the current election or do I kind of plan for the future elections? Oh, so good. Anyway, are they making fun of me in chat? You're just giggling.
No,
like
there's
crazy.
just great stuff in chat. No, somebody did ask a legitimate. Did you play this with Tom? Apparently, Tom loves this too.
No, I did not play this with Tom. I played it at Board Game Geek Con, which is
Well, Tom was there. I didn't.
yeah,
know
it was just a bunch of random people.
Okay.
Tom, it's hard for him to sit down for a 4-hour game at a convention. So,
That's true.
because he's going talking to publishers and doing his
doing
thing.
all that. No, I'm just laughing that Coralie was like, anytime I want to play a co-op game, I'll just call it a coalition game, and you should be all in.
Is there negotiation? Is there negotiation? And can I still win by myself? Then we can play the
Then
game
we can
together.
play it as a coalition.
We play it as a co-op game.
Oh.
Anyway, this is a
Wazzy,
bear.
okay.
This is a long. This is like a 3+ hour game. It plays best at the full player count. I heard mixed reviews on the lower player counts. I'm probably gonna try it at the lower player
Heck yeah,
counts.
we're gonna try it.
It was awesome. I mean, it was a great experience. Everyone had a great time. Everyone was laughing and joking and kind of poking at each other and stuff like that. It was great. That
sounds like fun.
Really good. I really
Sounds
enjoyed
like
it.
fun.
I can't wait to play this. This is like my most want to play game right now. So.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, you were like seriously. He was so excited about this game. I've heard so much about this game.
I want to play that game right now.
All right, let's just skip to your favorite.
And my favorite.
No one's surprised.
I got to play
Those of you regulars.
City of the Big Shoulders.
I feel like it's just been here. We've talked about this recently.
So I got to play City of the Big Shoulders. I actually taught the game. It's the only epic game I taught myself. And if you watched, we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but you watched Rebecca's top 10 on our 10 games from our 100 that came out today. We talked about this game. Spoilers. So I played this game. I taught this game, and then I proceeded to get annihilated. I've never.
Did you really?
I don't think I've ever been beaten in a game as bad as I was beaten in a game.
Really?
This game of City of the Big
Wow,
Shoulders.
you got nuked, son.
I'll describe it like I described it in Rebecca's video. They kicked me, threw me down the stairs, drugged me behind a car, threw me in a dumpster, and then lit the dumpster on fire. That's how bad I got beat in this game.
That's pretty funny.
And I don't know why. I swore I took a shower.
Village of the Tiny Ankles.
I swear I took a shower. I did not give anyone the stink eye. I didn't say anything mean.
They're like, oh, we'll teach the teacher.
They basically said,
that's what they said.
You, Hunter, are going to lose this game and lose it badly.
That's hilarious.
But that said, I love this game. I still had a blast. I would play. It's still one of my all-time favorite games. It's just, you got to understand that when you go into these games, these mean games like the Splatter games, like the 18xx games like this,
you expect cutthroat.
You can get beat up badly.
Yeah,
and I did.
Yep.
And I'm better for it. I learned my lesson. I learned what not to do and how to defend a little bit better from this game. But when all of them just, it's kind of like in the movies where there's the gun, everyone pulls guns on each other, and then sometimes as a funny thing, everyone aims at the same guy.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. Everyone aimed at me, and I was
sunk.
doomed from the start.
Dun. That's greatness.
But I enjoyed myself.
Yeah,
I still in those.
Apparently, I'm not good competition for you.
And in those games, what you do is you say, okay, I'm not going to win this game, but
I'm going to try some cool stuff.
I'm going to do as best as I possibly can with what I'm given. So and that's what I did.
Yep.
Anyway, still one of my all-time favorite games, but
it's greatness.
I got the person who won almost tripled my score.
That's insane. Wow, you didn't have to share that information with us. I'm just saying.
I got a big old steaming mug of humility served to me.
So I got to show off my little purchase.
We're not there yet because we got to push this button and freeze.
Is it the right button?
And freezes.
Is it the right button though?
And freezes again.
How many buttons?
And freezes. Told you.
What?
I told you we'd freeze.
Garbage. Enjoy the music. What just happened? Well, uh-oh. Are we there?
No.
Oh, no. No.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, it's on now. Okay. Stop pushing buttons.
I'm going to push the button again.
No. Just hit the technical difficulties.
This is a take off the glasses moment.
Oh,
rub my
no.
eyes.
Okay, well, while he's rubbing his eyes.
You want to open with those?
Yes.
Okay.
Game purchases that weren't games, but are very fun. Jennifer Ham's glass shop was one of the vendors there, which was really cool. And it's so cute because Rado's sitting there hanging out with his wife and he plays games with people and chit chats and stuff, but she's got like her whole like display and she's got a bunch of new stuff this year. And two of the things that we got, I love these. They're little trays. Can you see the little meeple design? I'm trying to turn it so you can see it. I love these. So there's these, and we have them in 2 colors because of course Hunter and I had to get the set. But she did this new design this year. I hope the glare isn't too bad so you guys can see it. It's got the, I know what it'll do. Set it on my shoulder so you can see the design. See the meeples? Isn't they cute? And she was talking about how she did it. She used like a cookie cutter and used cookie cutters and then poured like, I forget what she told me she poured in between. It was like powdered glass, I think she said, in between to make these. So she used cookie cutters, and I absolutely love these, and they're great. They're like the perfect size when you just have a bunch of, like you're keeping track of resources or your coins for the game. We just throw it on there, and it's so cute. So they're not ashtrays, Tommy. Oh my gosh. Be very inefficient ashtrays. But they're so cute. And they're just that pretty bright colored glass. She had them in a whole variety of colors and stuff. And also got a cool little, I'm not wearing it tonight, but I have a necklace, another one of the necklaces of hers and stuff. And they're just gorgeous and I love them. And I love her glass art and stuff. She's got cute little critters and jewelry and the works. So
we're gonna try
check that out.
We're gonna fly through this.
Yes, we are. We're gonna fly. We're super late. Right. We're chatty lately.
All right, so
you guys.
I forgot to show you the free games we got at Dice Tower Retreat.
Oh yeah, okay.
Arcane Wonders sponsored it. They gave a couple free games. I have no idea what they're about.
We haven't tried them
yet. Architectura.
Architectura.
No clue.
Yep, no clue.
Easy to learn and explain.
There you go. Yep.
Sherlock 13. It looks like a mystery solving game of some kind. Obviously, Sherlock 13.
Is it lucky or unlucky because it's 13? Yeah, Julio, I'll see myself.
And then we got some free games at Board Game Geek Con. We got Deep Vents from Red Raven. Red Raven sponsored Board Game Geek Con.
I love the art. I'm already a fan of the art.
Deep Vents
Just saying.
From Red Raven Games.
I like that art.
Because it's
I know it's deep ocean stuff.
And Ryan Lockett
it's Ryan Lockett art.
All right, and then we got
for some
Battle Chaos.
But
spelled very strangely.
That's like
Battle Chaos.
This makes me cringe a bit.
I don't know what this is, but I'm not gonna go on a sell pile immediately.
I was gonna say Hunter already.
And then we got
off from that insane
Feel Links. The game of emotions. Bunch of free games. All right.
Yep.
So yeah, remember I said I condensed 80 games down into 4. I had a lot of money left over, basically 80 games condensed into 4. Here's the 4 games. Game number 1, Coloma.
Ooh, intriguing.
Coloma. So this is out of print, like way out of print. They're considering bringing it back. In the next 2 years, maybe. But anyway, this one is I have no idea, but it's a big heavy Euro game. But the gimmick is there's a magnetic wheel thing, rondelle kind of thing.
Wait, magnetic?
Magnetic.
What?
It's a magnetic thing that spins around.
Ooh.
Anyway.
Okay.
It's like Old West resource management, build buildings. Basically, you build out buildings in the town and junk like that. Anyway, Coloma.
Greatness. Okay. That sounds fun.
Then we got Raw.
Oh, geez. You're so excited about this one.
So I had to get Raw because this is one of the 4 games I signed. If you watch the channel, I've signed up for the World Series of Board Gaming. I signed up for 4 games. Splendor, we own. I signed up for Dominant Species Marine, we own. And I signed up for Dominion Imperium. Is that what it's called? Dune Imperium. Dominion Imperium. Dune Imperium, which I own. But I don't own Raw, which I signed up for. Now I own Raw.
Now the training begins.
Let the training begin.
Cute
then
rocky
I got
music.
this massive box that weighs 50 pounds. Container.
You've been talking about this for a long
10th
time.
Anniversary edition. So I really want a container. Why not go all out and get the 10th anniversary?
Does it have the Suez Canal Evergreen expansion?
No, but it does. It does. If you look in the box.
Please tell me it does.
It does have a insert.
Whoa!
It came came with a massive
Sweet.
insert. But what I'm trying to find
Wow,
in here
that's
somewhere
nice.
is giant boats. Look at the size of these boats.
That would clog the Suez
Look at
Canal.
this.
Look at that
Look
bad
at the
boy.
size of this
Does
boat.
it actually say? What does it say on the side? Does it say? Oh, Mercury
Look at the
Games.
size
I thought
of
it
this
said Evergreen.
boat. This is the biggest. No, it's not the biggest game piece, but it's massive.
That's insane. Is that why you got this?
I'm on a boat.
Oh gosh, stop with the boats. Oh my goodness.
Anyway, container is a
Wow,
kind
that's
of a,
nice. No wonder it's so heavy.
kind of a pick up and delivered kind of game. I think maybe kind of.
I'm still gonna make Suez Canal jokes. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah, but your little ship can get stuck in the Suez Canal.
Julio, you are just on a tear this evening.
What do you say?
He says that the cheer should I use for amping up Hunter's championship? Raw, raw.
You're actually supposed to say raw.
Are you serious?
When you basically when you start an auction.
Are you
say
serious?
Raw.
That's ridiculous. Okay, anyway.
Or you say I invoke raw.
Yes.
And
Nice.
then being the
I
greatest
invoke
husband I am
raw.
ever in the history of husbandry. That's not right. That's for cows, right?
Yes, husbandry is for
Millennium Blades. The Millennium Edition of Death.
Okay, you guys, like seriously.
As they say down in the South, I don't mess around. I'm going whole hog.
This thing is 500 pounds of greatness. It's chock full of just insanity.
Who likes sleeves?
You liked some sleeves once.
So we gotta see this. This is insanity at its finest.
That's crazy. Oh, you guys.
So this one also has an insert. It also has thousands of cards.
Look at all these cards.
Thousands.
Yeah, it's definitely Texan, guys. Whole hog. Yes.
Thousand. Actually, it's more south.
It's just Southern in general. Yeah.
Look at this.
Sequel to Dominion, right? Yes. This is like, okay, I liked playing CCGs for a while. I mean, but it's expensive
I think
hobby
we're talking
and
about my
stuff.
Dominion Imperium.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty much. But like,
This thing
man.
weighs, I'm not exaggerating,
It's so
30
good.
pounds.
It's so good. It's like all the fun parts of CCGs without the expense. Well, except for buying this game, but then it's just a flat cost, right? And you still get the fun and excitement of opening decks and selling stuff and trading, and then having the tournament. And so meta, baby, so meta.
She really loved it, so I had to get it.
Oh man, this game so good.
And I got it for maybe a third of the cost it took to get everything.
Because you're a wheeling and dealing.
I'm a
What's
wheeler
up?
and a
You're
dealer.
wild. But this, oh man, you guys, Millennium Blades.
All right.
I'll play this anytime.
All right.
We can play it right now. Let's go.
So, we're going to try to get
Notice
out of
he
here
ignores
because...
me. Notice he ignored me.
No, we're playing Democrat. No, we can't play
No, we're not
Democrat.
playing Democrat. I was like, you with what, multiple personalities?
All
What are
right.
we doing here?
70 freezes later, we've reached the end of the
Crackbacks.
line. All right, so Rebecca's top
Crack
100,
open a pack.
70 through 61 went up today. Go check that out. It's amazing because she's in it.
Aw.
Trying to get brownie points here. Anyway,
I
can't.
guess, dang.
Coming out Thursday, Thanksgiving, for those of us in the U.S. or that celebrate Thanksgiving. Thursday, 60 through 51 is coming out. Happy Thanksgiving.
Enjoy
Enjoy
turkey
your
day. Day
football,
of
or whatever
family
you do on
and
whatever your
gratitude.
Thanksgiving traditions are. If it's just a regular Thursday for you, hope you have a great day.
Make
All
it magical.
All right.
Magical.
1 week from tonight, we're going to do a top 10. I have no clue what it's going to be yet. I'm going to put up a poll tomorrow on our Board Game Geek Guild, linking it down in our description. Go to the Board Game Geek Guild, vote on the next top 10, because whatever gets the most votes is our next top 10. And that is it, folks. We are, who was it? Was it David Letterman that used to do, well, I'm out of here?
Oh, really? Oh, gosh, I
Was
don't
it
know.
David Letterman?
No
that used
clue.
to like scribble and do
Oh, I don't know.
It's one of
That's
the night
greatness.
show. Was it Tonight Show? I don't know. Some of you older folk that are as old as I am, tell me what the one that does the scribbly thing.
Neutral, you are living up to your name. Are there any good games in the next set of 10?
I think is a Neutral.
Listen
is
here.
it Neutral the one that's or Julio? No, I think it was Neutral. He hasn't matched any of your games yet. He hasn't played any of your 100 through 71 or 61. 100 through 61, he hadn't played
Nobody's
any of them.
perfect.
I think it was him.
Well,
that
we
said
won't
that.
hold it against you. And by we, I mean me.
Thanksgiving, or what we call it in the UK. What? Yeah, he's 0 for 30 on games.
Troll. We need to expand your voice. Yeah, it's me.
All right. So we'll see you next Tuesday for a top 10 to be determined. I'll put a poll. Who gets the most votes? It'll be a top 10.
Heart.
We're out here. Apologize for all the freezing.
Thanks for staying late. You late people.
Send your complaints to one of two places. Either send it to the Dell Customer Service Department or Microsoft. Don't send them to us. Bye!
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Click subscribe to join our wonderful viewer community.
Want to be notified when we upload a new video or go live? Click on the little bell below.